Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson. Also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county of Shelby, the state of Tennessee. Today's date is Monday morning, June the 8th. June the 8th, 2026. And the time is 8:35 a.m. First, say thank you to my family, my support for you. Continue to encourage support, continue to keep myself employed in the Memphis tri-state area. I'll continue to further my education, working toward earning my associate degree in being administrative contract and marketing. I took a break from going to school. In the future, I do intend to go back and continue my education by studying, by trying to earn my associate degree in being administrative contract and marketing as well as other degrees. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start my Facebook Live. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson. Also known as BrightShine. I am here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county of Shelby, state of Tennessee. Today's date is Monday morning, June the 8th, 2026 time, 8:37 a.m. First, I thank my family, my support for you, continue to support, continue to keep myself employed in the Memphis tri-state area, continue to further my education by studying, by pursuing my associate degree, studying being administrative contract and marketing. At present time, I took a break going to school. In the future, I do intend to go back and continue to further my education, pursuing my associate degree, studying being administrative contract and marketing as well as other degrees. Now, first, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, for all the blessings and guidance He provides us all with. And continue to pray about these natural disasters. And continue to pray about wars that are being fought. And continue to pray Now, Now, like I said, when I started my video, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, for all the blessings and guidance He provides us all with. You know, it's important. And so, when you believe and have faith, your belief and your faith is being opposed by the devil. Being opposed by the devil. There's only one God, one. We're in the Holy Bible. King James Version of the Holy Bible. We're in the book of Genesis. This is in the Old Testament. Chapter 1, verse number 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. We're in the King James Version of the Holy Bible. We're in the Old Testament. The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse number 1. Now we're over here in the book of Exodus, chapter 20. We're going to read verses 1 through 17. And it reads, And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. So we read from the book of Exodus in the Old Testament, chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Now we're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4. We're in the Old Testament. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 39. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart, that the Lord, he is God in heaven above, and upon the earth beneath. There is none else. We just read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 39. There's only one God. One. We have a reference that we're going to refer to, the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse number 11. So let's go there. We're in the book of Joshua in the Old Testament, chapter 2, verse number 11. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God, in heaven above and in earth beneath. We just read from the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse number 11. Now we're going to also go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. We're going to read verse number 4. And it reads, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." We just read from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. And we just read verse number 4. Now we have a reference. More than one. We have more than one reference. Let me see. We're going to read from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 35. And it reads, "Unto thee it was shewed that thou mightest know that the Lord, he is God. There is none else beside him." We just read from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 35. And we also have another reference in the New Testament. First Corinthians, chapter 8, verse number 4. And also 6 and 4. Hold on. Let's go to the book, First Corinthians. We're in the New Testament. First Corinthians, chapter 8. First Corinthians chapter 8. We're going to read verse number 4 first. And it reads, "As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one." And we're going to also read verse number 6 in the same chapter. 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse number 6. "But to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we by him. So we just read in the New Testament, 1 Corinthians chapter 8. We read verse number 4 first, and we also read verse number 6. And there's also another reference that you can refer to. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verses 39 through 43. It's only one God, one. Only one God, one. One God, one. Ain't no syncretizing. No. Let's go over here. Now, dualism in cosmology. What time is it? Yeah, we're going to make sure we refer to this right now. Now, moral dualism is the belief of the great complement of or conflict between the benevolent and the malevolent. It implies there are two moral opposites at work. We believe and have faith in one God, that there's only one, not two. You can't syncretize. It simply implies there are two moral opposites at work, independent of any interpretation of what might be moral and independent of how these may be represented. Moral opposites might, for example, exist in a worldview that has one God, more than one God, or none. By contrast, duotheism, bitheism, or ditheism implies at least two gods, while bitheism implies harmony. Ditheism implies rivalry and opposition, such as between good and evil, or light and dark, or summer and winter. A ditheistic system could be one in which one God is a creator and the other a destroyer. In theology, dualism can also refer to the relationship between the deity and creation, or the deity in the universe. That's theistic dualism. That form of dualism is a belief shared in certain traditions of Christianity and Hinduism. Alternatively, in ontological dualism, the world is divided into two overarching categories. Within Chinese culture and philosophy, the opposition and combination of the universe's two basic principles are expressed as yin and yang. In our tradition, the foundational doctrine of Taoism, Confucianism, and some Chinese Buddhist schools. When it comes to moral dualism, it's the belief of the great complement or conflict between the benevolent and malevolent. Like ditheism and bitheism, moral dualism does not imply the absence of monists or monotheistic principles. Moral dualism simply implies that there are two moral opposites at work, independent of any interpretation of what might be moral, and unlike ditheism and bitheism, independent of how these may be represented. Now, bitheism and ditheism imply belief in two equally powerful gods. Read that again. Bitheism and ditheism imply belief in two equally powerful gods with complementary or autonomous properties. However, while bitheism implies harmony, ditheism implies rivalry and opposition such between good and evil, bright and dark, summer and winter. Now, when you talk about bitheism system, in bitheistic system, by contrast, where the two deities are not in conflict or opposite, one could be male and the other female. You can find something like that about, and that gender polarity is found in the neo-pagan religion of Wicca. Now, when you talk about this radical and mitigated dualism, radical dualism, absolute dualism, positive two co-equal divine forces. Two. When you're talking about mitigate, so that was radical dualism. It's two. When you're talking about mitigated dualism, you're talking about where one of the two is two. In some way inferior to the other. Classical Gnostic movements as the Sethians conceived of the material world as being created by a lesser divinity than the true God that was the object of their devotion. The spiritual world is conceived of as being radically different from the material world. Coextensive with the true God and the true home of certain enlightened members of humanity. Thus, these systems were expressive of a feeling of acute alienation within the world, and their resultant aim was to allow the soul to escape the constraints presented by the physical realm. Two. It was two. It's two. Now, when they were talking about that theistic dualism, some of them people like them Zoroastrians and Manichaeans, and then they talking about this Christianity. Some of them Martianism and Catharism and Paulicianism, Gnostic. And so when you talk about that stupid Gnostic stuff, Gnosticism is a diverse, syncretistic religious move consisting of various belief systems, generally united in a belief in a distinction between a supreme transcendent God and a blind evil demiurge responsible for creating the material universe, thereby trapping the divine spark within matter. Gnosticism, not limited to Christianity, also incorporates belief from other Abrahamic traditions, such as early Jewish sects. When you try to lie, man, so you can have anal sex, that's all it is. See, that's the basis of this lesbian, gay, bisexual, and all that transgender, transsexual. That's where all that stuff, all this binary and all that, that's where it's coming from. See, that's how they try to justify anal sex. The men having anal sex with men, the men having anal sex with the women. It's always the men trying to be dominant over the women through violence. The men trying to be violent with the women. Who's to say that a woman believes in that nonsense? But can a woman physically resist a man or men? Now, when I ask that question, I don't want none of the women on the basketball team. Some of these women is 6'5". You know, some of these women pretty tall now. And they get up in that gym, they work that body. You know, they work, get physically fit. And some of these women, you know, they all that mixed martial arts stuff, they might give you a, you know, but a 6'5" woman getting into an altercation with a 6'5" man who also go to the gym. No. Some of these men 7 feet. No, you ain't finna get into no fight and resist. You might try. To resist. See, that's the reason why this stuff is serious, man. You can't take it lightly. Because see, when it comes to the women, you talking about some gay men, talking about the material world, and having anal sex with a man, and you think they're going to stand there and allow a woman to criticize them. See, in ancient times, they ain't had no police department. They ain't had no rape kit. They ain't had no FBI. So trying to resist a man or men, the women, they're going to submit. But the thing that we want to see, we want to ask this question. We talking about this Gnostic here. Let's just say an educated woman in Harvard University. Or let's just say you got Yale, Princeton, Harvard, Brown, you know, some of these, what they call it, the Ivy League schools. And the women, a woman or the women with a PhD, talking about the same damn thing we talking about on Wikipedia. And you talking about some damn lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, transsexual. Talking about anal sex. The men having anal sex with the men. And the men having anal sex with the women. Now, all the women not 6 feet tall. There's a lot of women that are 5 foot or 4 foot. There's a lot of women that are short. They not tall. They short. Well, that don't mean they not educated. There's a lot of women got a lot of education. Because, you know, in this day and time, we got dual degrees. You don't have just, you know, not just have one bachelor's degree. Because, you know, they got a program now. In this day and time at these colleges and universities, like here in the United States of America, you can get 2 bachelor's degrees, 2 master's degrees. Hell, you can get 2 PhDs. I know about some people with 2 PhDs. So let's just say a woman got 2 PhDs. Hell, she's smart. Hey, she very, very intelligent. And she heterosexual. She not no lesbian. She not bisexual. She not transgender. Transsexual, trying to have a sex change, all that damn mess. She heterosexual. Yeah, she like getting some dick. Not in her ass though. In her vagina. But yeah, she like getting some dick from a man. Not in her asshole, but in her vagina hole. Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta get raunchy sometimes. Yeah, we gotta get, hey, we gotta throw it out there. We gotta get raunchy. We gotta get, you know what I'm saying, we gotta get rough. You know, I'm telling you, you got a woman with 2 PhD, 5 foot tall, 2 PhD. Damn, she's smart, man. I'm telling you, she's smart. And she heterosexual. She not no lesbian. She not bisexual. No, she ain't bisexual. No. She not transgender and all that other shit. With transgender, transsexual, all that. Binary and all that. But yeah, she like getting some dick. Yeah, from the men. Oh yeah, she like getting some dick from the man. Oh, she a little hoe now. Back in the day, in her bachelor degree days, some rumors, hey, we don't read. Some of the guys might be like, yeah, what's her name? Yeah, I know her. Yeah, I know her. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we don't want to bring all that, you know. Sure. When she was trying to get that other bachelor degree in the dorm, shit. Well, hey, you ain't gotta bring up all that, man. You ain't gotta go there. Shit. But no, she like getting her some dick, man. You know? Not in her asshole. You know. She like getting that dick in that vagina hole. You know. Hey. But hey, trying to resist though. See, this is the point we want to make. See, this is serious. See, when we talking about this stuff started just like this Zoroastrianism and this Manichaeism stuff. This stuff started in the past. It wasn't no police department. It wasn't no FBI. So being violent, you remember all that barbarism and all that Scythianism and all that Hellenism and all that stuff with the Indo-Europeans being violent. And still being violent today. Being violent. What they call all these groups? Some of the no, we had the Latins, but what they call them? And not the Vikings, but the what they call them? The Goths, the Visigoths. The French, the Visigoths, and you know what I'm saying? All them, the Gothics, the Visigoths, and all them. You know, because there's a lot of them. We can't even name all of them. The Celtics, and, you know, all them Indo-Europeans in Western Europe, you know. All they do is fight the Vikings and, you know what I'm saying, all the Gothics and all that. The Visigoths and all them. The Latins were constantly having problems with the Visigoths and all them. And the Vikings and all them. And so, it was violent. So, you know, just bringing that up, you know damn well them women, you know damn well a woman wasn't going to resist. Talking a man got a blade this damn long. Yeah, come on now. And we talking about, you know what I'm saying, one God. That's how this damn shit lasts this damn long. It's because these damn gay men and bisexual men being violent. That's the only reason that's how this stuff survives. It's through violence. It's through violence. Because you ain't finna never prove that shit. You ain't gonna never prove talking about an evil demiurge responsible for creating the material universe, thereby trapping the divine spark within matter. Man, you ain't finna prove that damn shit. You ain't finna get into no damn debate with the Jews about no mess like that. And you damn sure ain't finna get into No arguing with the captain. Because they've been and put that mess to rest. Shit, way back in the first century. Way back in the first century. St. Irenaeus, the Bishop of Lyon, and St. Anthony of Antioch. St. Irenaeus, you know what I'm saying? You had St. Irenaeus and the Bishop of Antioch. It's right at the tip of my tongue. But them two, that was back in the first century, man. With adversus iraces. Because and you know they was all martyred anyway by the Romans. You know. Let me see, Saint Irenaeus. Saint Ignatius. That's who it was. Saint Ignatius was the Bishop of Antioch. And you know he was killed by the Romans. You know what they did to that man? You know what they did to that man? The Romans threw this man out in the Roman arena. He was eaten alive by lions. That was a sport to them. They laughed about it. That was funny to them. But it was in the first century, man. It was in the first, when they wrote adversus iraces against heresies. That's what they was talking about. Gnostic. They refuted Gnosticism. They refuted Gnosticism being a heresy. So they already told you. You were lying then. That's what the church fathers been telling you. They knew who it was. Even the Jews told you. That's what Rabbi Akiva told you. One of the most respected rabbis in Judaism. Rabbi Akiva told you. Do not try to influence Judaism with this Greek philosophy and with this damn Gnostic. Do not let that stuff be an influence on Judaism. That's what Rabbi Akiva said before he died in the Bar Kokhba revolt, fighting against polytheism. That's what the Bar Kokhba revolt was about. The Jews fighting against the polytheists. They didn't bow down. Just like we read the Ten Commandments. God said, don't bow down. And they didn't. And the Jews didn't. They didn't bow down. They fought against polytheism. And them same damn polytheists, later on, they converted. They converted to be a Catholic. One God. One God. One. But like I said, man, see that's a damn good point to bring up. See, when the women, and you know damn well that the Catholic Church and the Jews, no. Talking about a man putting his penis in another man's anus and being violent with the women. That's what you're doing. See, that's what you're doing. Being violent with the women. Putting your penis, a man putting his penis not in a woman's vagina, in her anus, in her asshole. You ain't gonna never prove that being right. Ain't no damn lesbian finna never get into no goddamn argument. And no gay, you gonna get into a damn heated argument. Talking about they came to blows. Talking about putting your damn penis in another man's anus. They're talking about a man walking around dressing like a woman. And you're going to prove that right. See, all this nonsense that people try to bring up in the past, the Catholic Church already, even the Jews, then already refuted. Because it's important to the Jews, because when you talk about the Old Testament and the prophecies, see, that's one of the issues that the Jews have about the Messiah. You claiming, that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. That's what you believe. That's what you have faith in. The Jews said, no, that's not the Messiah. The Messiah has not come. So like I said, we want to touch on this, and we want to make sure we talking about one God, one. Believe and have faith that there's one God, one. You don't have no partner, no. One. So, like I said, we want to touch on that today. See, that's important. See, it's important. It's important to a lot of people. Like, when I leave my mom and dad a picture behind me, it's important to me. But see, I think about my mom and my dad. I love them. I don't never forget my mama and my dad. I love them. I love them. And see, when they was alive, see, this was some cowards, some criminals did. You thought that Gnostic texts that they found. But see, they had already found some Gnostic texts. That Nehemiah Library, they found it in 1945 or something. And that Gnostic text, the Nehemiah Library. But some Gnostic texts had already been found prior to that. The Askew Codex, the Berlin Codex, and the Bruce Codex. They had found those Gnostic texts before they found the Nehemiah Library. Now you know the Catholic Church, the Orthodox Catholics, Saint Athanasius, the Bishop of Alexandria in Egypt, in let me make sure I get the year right. 365, Saint Athanasius. Okay. And I was looking for something. But this is good enough. Yeah, this is good. Okay. That's what it was. It was in 367 AD. That's what it was. It was 367 AD. So, St. Athanasius, the Bishop of Alexandria. That's the reason why the Bible is put together the way it is. Because of St. Athanasius, the Bishop of Alexandria, in his Easter letter, Festal letter. It's 39. And took all that Gnostic nonsense, all that apocryphal stuff out of, all that stupid stuff that Gnostic theologian writing made sure that none of that stuff was in the Bible. So like I said, hey, the Catholic Church, they already told you. they don't have no agreement with no Gnostic. They already got that straightened out. And see, when you understand what dualism is, there's nothing similar about the Holy Bible and that Gnostic nonsense. Talking about the material world and all this lying, talking about the material world, the demiurge and all. Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1. No, didn't no demiurge create the heavens and the earth. No, did not create nothing. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. Let's read why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's a lie. The reason why I love my mom and dad, we tried to lie. I think about my grandma and my granddad on mama and dad's side. That really gets me upset. I think about them and how people try to take that Gnostic nonsense and try to be violent. And go around trying to, be violent. Like I told them conservative vice lords in Chicago, hey, Evan Pepperlo Perry, hey, he real. He true. I don't give a damn what them damn bitches say. Especially that damn gangster disciple. Man, you should, like I told you, like that's the reason why. That's the reason why I've been sitting there calling to tell you to kill that damn bitch. That Larry who would kill his motherfucking ass. Talking about two. Talking about some damn Gnostic text. You kill that bitch. And anybody else. See, that's the reason why I've been sitting there standing for Evan Pepperlo Perry. It's a good thing we got a YouTube video. See, this is what I was telling. This is what I was trying to make this clear. See, Minister Rico spent all that time in the penitentiary. But see, it's a good thing about a YouTube video for this reason. Just like me. I'm outside the city of Chicago. You might not hear any and everything, but sometimes little bits and pieces. A little bit of pieces. Somebody might say something about one person, like Sam Mahdi. Sometimes, a lot of times, you ain't never heard that before. Be honest with you, I ain't never heard nothing about no Sam Mahdi. Now, I done heard about, Evan Pepperlo Perry. But I ain't never heard nothing. So when and then little bits and pieces. Man, the shit that people done done is wrong. Just like Bobby Gore. See, this would be why I try to make this clear with the conservative. That Nazi shit is wrong. That's what they thought they was getting with them damn white people. That's who wrong. That's who wrong. See, instead of killing Evan Pepperlo Perry, your ass should have killed them goddamn white people. That's what your ass should have did. You should have killed them goddamn white people. That's what your bitch ass should have did. You should have killed them goddamn white people. Edmund Peplow Perry wasn't wrong. The dirty sheets and the wailing sheep, they black just like all of us. They've been trying to oppress all of us. Niger Congo. Gonna forcibly bring all the Niger Congo to be slaves. And before the West African slave trade, you had the East African or the Arab slave trade. Well, let me put this to you. Well, since the goddamn Arabs looking for some damn slaves, why the hell they ass didn't go to North Africa? Ask them that. Why your ass didn't go to North Africa and get some slaves? What about them goddamn Nilo-Saharans? They ain't make them be slaves. But the Niger Congo. And then with the West African, the transatlantic slave trade, the same goddamn thing. The goddamn Indo-European gonna come to sub-Saharan Africa and take the goddamn Niger Congo to be slaves. Why your ass didn't go to North Africa and get the Afro-Asiatic? Why they ain't take them goddamn Nilo-Saharans to be slaves? And then later on they had this damn colonialism where the so-called Indo-European gonna colonize the continent of Africa. See, you don't get away with this damn shit. See, the Niger Congo, one God. See, I'm going to tell you what the secret is. See, the Niger Congo, one God. One. And see, that's what them fucking bitches did. See, that's what it's about. It's about one God. And trying to have anal sex. They're the damn polytheists. And the damn dualists. Them Indo-Europeans. Polytheists. More than one. See, that's what them damn Iranians were doing. With this damn Zoroastrian mess and this Manichaean mess. Two. See what I'm saying? Two. See, that's all that is. Two. Zoroastrian and Manichaeans. Two. See, this is shit they trying to pull. This damn polytheist mess. Two. More than one. Then they made up this damn mess in the 1960s. The New Age mess. See, all that mess ain't numbers a lie. All you doing is lying. It's the same goddamn people. The neo-pagans and the New Age and all. It's the same goddamn people. The Indo-European. The Indo-European. And see, they brought all of us over here and denied us education. All of us, Niger Congo, they brought us over here, forcibly brought us over here and oppressed all of us, committing all these goddamn atrocities. Talking about it's more than one God. Talking about it's more than one God. That's what they did, committing all these goddamn atrocities. See, that's what I see when I make my video. That's the point I've been making. First of all, I love my mom and dad. See, that's the reason why. If my mom and dad was alive today, I'd be standing right here and I'd be making sure that they don't never ever hear nothing like that. I think about all the time when I was a little child growing up. My grandma and granddad on my mama's side took us to church. Grandma and granddad went to church every Sunday. The Church of Christ and all that kind of stuff. And mom and dad, go to the Church of Christ and stuff. But see, that's the reason why I don't go today. That's the reason why I don't go. That's the reason why I don't even go to church on Sunday. Because I know goddamn well that the Catholic Church ain't wrong. Catholic Church not wrong. When they brought up all that damn Martin Luther mess in Western Europe, the Eastern Orthodox was over there in Constantinople, and then you had the other, as well as in Jerusalem, the Orthodox, as well as in Egypt, Eritrea, and Ethiopia. And then when it comes to the Eastern Orthodox, you got all these in Armenia and Russia, all over Eastern Europe, the Eastern Orthodox, the whole Eastern Europe, all the way over to Turkey. In what they used to be Constantinople, now they call it Istanbul because of Islam. But the bishop is still there. See, the bishop ain't gone. The bishop had not gone anywhere in Constantinople. It's still there. The Orthodox Church is still there. It's still there. They still in Constantinople today. As well as now over there in Syria, in India, the Orthodox. See, you don't get away with that mess, man. You don't have no ground to stand on. You don't have no ground to stand on. It's still based on violence. That Protestant foolishness, talking about some fire so late. Hell, by this time the Catholic Church already refuted all them fire so late. All that mess has been refuted. They had already refuted Martin Luther, proved that he was a heretic. And so today, all this stuff you talking about some Protestant, the Catholic Church already refuted what you saying. The Catholic Church already refuted that. See, all that is violence. See, the only thing you trying to do is still trying to do the same. Trying to be violent. Trying to use violence and be violent. Because in the classroom, in the theology and religious studies department, you ain't finna prove a damn thing. That's just like Arianism, all them damn heresies. The Catholic Church already refuted all them damn heresies. They already refuted all them damn heresies. They got a big long list of heresies that the Catholic Church already refuted, including Protestantism. Already been refuted. So you ain't got nothing to say. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So this is the reason why when I make my video, this is the reason why, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why. See, and that's like I was saying earlier. See, when the conservative vice lord been in Chicago, we not talking about no gang. That ain't never been what I was talking about. What I've been saying all the time is that because of all this damn lying, these damn white people. See, this is what these white people did. Oppressed us as a people. with this damn shit, this Gnostic mess, and this more than one God shit. That's how we got sent over here. That's how we got shipped over here. But what I've been saying all the time is that what you did to Evan Pepelo Perry was wrong. And to say anything about that man is wrong. Because that's wrong. Gnostic is wrong. So what you did was wrong. That's what I've been saying. That's the reason why when I thought about Minister Rico, he got out of prison. You're an old man. You ain't have to worry about that. Getting nobody back. You ain't have to worry about it. See, that's what I've been sitting here for. See, is to get motherfuckers back. See, it's going to come a day. See, this is the reason why I tell the conservative party Lord over and over again. See, that bitch, Larry Hoover. You make sure that that bitch get killed. You kill that bitch. You kill him. You kill that bitch. It ain't nothing right about him. You kill his ass. You don't take that goddamn shit. Because I don't take it. I love my mom and dad. I don't take that goddamn shit off nobody. Nobody. It ain't nobody got me scared. Nobody. That's the reason why I be walking around mad. I think about my mom and dad when I was a little boy growing up. And when I became a man, I found out. Because there's a lot of shit, a lot of people I ain't never heard before. That's what I was mad about. Because when I hear something just like that Nazi shit, nobody never told me that in my house, in this house. And this is my mom and dad's house that I'm in. They left this house to me and my brother. This house paid for. As a matter of fact, this house was paid for even before my dad had passed away. He had worked all these years, and then my dad had passed away. Then later on, mom passed away. Man, this house was already paid for. Already paid for. All them years he worked. All them years mama worked. This is what they worked for, this house. And it's paid for. And being taken care of. This house. But when I think about my mom and my dad, that's what I be mad about. I don't, no. I know it's wrong. I know that's wrong. And that's what I don't know. You don't tell me nothing like that, no. And so that's the reason why I tell conservative Lord, man, you don't never let that bitch get away. Never. You make sure you kill that bitch. That's what I've been saying all the. You kill that Larry Hoover. You kill him. You don't just let that bitch sit up in that jail. You kill his motherfucking ass. You get that bitch. You get him. Because like I told you, it never was no reason for that bitch to be looking out the window. Looking out the window at some hustlers and gangsters outside the window. Them bitches wasn't right. That wasn't right. They wasn't right. So you know damn well he ain't right. Yeah, the black disciples, you was right to try to kill his ass. That's what you supposed to tell them. You supposed to tell all them brothers that tried to kill that bitch, you supposed to tell them that you was right. You supposed to tell them you was right. You supposed to tell the black Princeton. You supposed to tell them what you did was right. You was right to try to kill his ass. And you damn sure don't supposed to never leave them Mickey Cobras walking around. You supposed to tell them that it was wrong what you did to Evan Pepelo Perry. It was wrong. And that it was right for you to kill that damn Larry Hoover. You supposed to kill his ass. You supposed to get that other nigga. That booty black nigga. You wasn't supposed to never let that bitch get away. You supposed to kill him. All them talking about the black gangsters. Who is this nigga? This booty black nigga. Because some of them black gangsters, they weren't friends with that nigga. I know damn well, I know that Coach Cheese wasn't friends with that nigga. He wasn't friends with that booty black nigga. You supposed to kill that nigga. See, this is the reason why I do the things I do. You don't supposed to never let no gangster disciple get away. Just like them goddamn new breed. You ain't supposed to never let them get away. Not with that. No, man. No. You ain't supposed to never do that. It's just like that weak ass blood gang, crip gang. Man, you ain't no motherfucking back. You did the same bitch ass shit. Tried to use the Nagamon library. You ain't gonna get away with that shit, man. You ain't getting away. Gonna be the same thing. Gonna get your ass killed. Gonna kill you. Gonna kill you. You make sure. Don't you never, ever, ever let that damn Larry Hoover nigga get away. Don't you never do that. You make sure you kill his ass. You, wherever he at in that damn jail, you kill that bitch. You make sure you get his ass. And whoever the hell left out on this damn street, you know goddamn motherfucking well. I'm walking around, you know damn well. No. I ain't gonna, no. Now you might try to, you think you some kind of smart ass and think you done got away all this time and you gonna walk your ass around with a gun. Okay. Okay. See, this is the reason why I tell you, man, you don't never let the police. This is what them damn white police did. See, this is what the white police did. I know they, see, this is what I tell about a YouTube video. I know there was something wrong when I heard about Elvin Peplo Perry. First of all, he big. He too goddamn big to just disappear. He too goddamn big. I know that someone right. And I know damn well, him being who he is, I know damn well that Bobby Gore and Minister Rico and a lot of them conservative white lords, they were walking around. They weren't going to just leave him sitting around. Alfonso Alfred, he was walking around. I know you don't just disappear without nobody knowing something. See a YouTube video, I'm hearing shit I ain't never heard before. See, when I heard something about Elvin Peplo Perry, something on the YouTube said something about him going to school. But hey, you know what I'm saying, in some college. Say he tried to enroll, he was enrolled in college in Chicago. So how the hell you gonna just disappear? How you gonna just disappear? You got to have somewhere to live. You don't just disappear. It's always a trail. It's always some that say in this direction who may be a suspect involved. I know damn well it was some white people did some shit. Cause in that, I know during that period of time, I already know Cicero and all this, where the white people live and all this shit. I already know. And the white police. So I know what I suspect what happened to Elvin Peplo Perry. And some of these bitches walking around helping the white people. But even that, when you do something, somebody knows something. See, if it's that many goddamn people involved, somebody gonna start talking. See, when you know it's wrong, and when you start coming after motherfuckers, man, motherfuckers trying to find some kind of way to keep them having to face, having to face the justice. Having people walking around mad and have to get your ass. Somebody gonna start talking. So like I said, man, hey, that Nazi shit, that ain't right, man. Them white people that ain't right. That's not right. See, when you be trying to do that, you making it sound like the Indo-European is right with this polytheist shit. Because that's really all it is. That was just another way for them, because that's who it was. You see who it was when all this Gnostic mess came up. It wasn't nothing but the same. It was the Indo-European. Some of them people had claimed they converted to Judaism, but it was the Indo-Europeans. Because some of them other Jews, just like the Catholics, they were not involved in it. The ones you talking about being a heretic, them the ones they were talking about. Over there in Egypt and all these places, them the ones they were talking about. The Indo-Europeans who claimed they was a Jew. That's who the church father was telling you they saw. Teaching to be a Gnostic. That's who they saw. The Indo-European. So when you talk about more than one, it's still the same one, the polytheists. The polytheists. What time? Yeah. So like I said, man, I'm going to say it again. I can't, because it makes me mad. What you did to Elvin Pepperlo period was wrong. That Nazi shit is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Ain't no such thing, no material world being evil. And the material world was not created by, all this, man, going on somewhere with that nonsense you talk. It's because the words you be using, them words don't even apply to no Nazi. Talking about created. The material world. Man, what? Now we just gonna touch on something right now, cause just general information, just artificial overview. Now, when we talk about this prehistoric religion, it refers to the spiritual and supernatural belief systems developed before the advent of writing. Because there are no written texts, our understanding of these ancient faiths relies entirely on archaeological evidence, such as ritual burials, cave paintings, artifacts, and monumental architecture. The archaeological record reveals a fascinating evolution of spiritual thought across different epochs and characterized by these core elements. Now, you have key characteristics of prehistoric faith: animism, anthropological research, and evolutionary studies suggest the earliest forms of human spirituality centered around animism. This is the belief that all living things, plants, animals, and even natural phenomena like rivers and weather possess a spirit or conscious life. Shamanism. The discovery of ritualistic items and visionary cave paintings suggest the presence of shamans. These are likely special spiritual leaders or healers who enter trance states to communicate with the spirit world, seek guidance, or perform healing ceremonies. The afterlife believes the practice of burying the dead with grave goods and red ochre dates back tens of thousands of years among both early Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. These time-consuming and careful burial rituals indicate a developed belief in a continued existence after death. Now you have major eras in archaeological evidence. The Paleolithic era, 50,000 to 10,000 BCE. This period is renowned for spectacular cave art. Sites like Le Caux in France or Altamira in Spain feature deeply stylized animals and shamanistic figures. It's also the era of mysterious Venus figurines, exaggerated female carvings that many experts believe were tied to fertility and mother goddess worship. Now, when you get to the Neolithic Revolution, around 10,000 BC onward, as humans transitioned to sedentary agricultural lifestyles, their religious practices evolved. People began engaging in ancestor veneration, such as the plastered painted skulls found at sites like Jericho to maintain ties with the dead and claim ownership of lands. Monumental structures began to emerge, most notably Turkey's Göbekli Tepe, which is widely considered the world's oldest known temple or religious sanctuary. Then you had the Bronze and Iron Ages. Around 3000 BCE onward, religion became far more structured, formalized, and intertwined with daily governance. Worship frequently took place outdoors in sacred groves or near natural water sources where people would cast valuable weapons, gold, and other offerings into rivers and springs to appease nature deities. Excuse me. Okay, now, Okay. Since they made mention of in prehistoric religion, they made mention of animism and shamanism. So we're gonna just touch on this, utilizing artificial intelligence overview. Animism is the belief that objects, places, and creatures all possess a distinct spiritual essence or soul. Coined by anthropologist Edward Tyler, it posits that the universe is alive, recognizing agency and sentience in plants, animals, weather systems, and the earth itself. Now, core concepts: universal personhood. Animists view the world as a community of living persons, many of whom happen to be non-human. Everything from a river or mountain to an animal or tree has a conscious life and spirit. Reciprocity and respect. Because all things hold spiritual power, humans are expected to interact respectfully with the environment. Nature is not seen as a passive resource, but a network of relationships. Spiritual causation. Physical events such as a good harvest, an illness, or a storm are understood to have spiritual causes, often linked to the moods or satisfaction of nature's spirits. History and modern perspectives. Old animism. The term was originally coined by the Victorian anthropologist Edward Tyler in his 1871 book, Primitive Culture. Early anthropological studies historically framed animism as a primitive, lower stage of religious evolution compared to monotheism. New animism. Modern scholars and contemporary indigenous advocates often reject Tyler's colonial framing. Today, the term is viewed more positively as a complex ontological perspective and a system of ecological ethics rather than a lesser religion. Global presence. Far from being a relic of the past, animistic worldviews remain incredibly widespread. They form the foundational spiritual framework for countless indigenous communities across the globe, including parts of Africa, Asia, the Americas, and the Pacific Islands. Now, shamanism. Now we on artificial intelligence overview. Shamanism is an ancient spiritual practice and way of life in which a practitioner, the shaman, interacts with the spirit world through altered states of consciousness. Found globally across indigenous cultures, shamans act as intermediaries to channel spiritual energy for healing, divination, and restoring community balance. The core beliefs. The spirit world. The physical world is deeply intertwined with a hidden spiritual realm inhabited by ancestors, deities, and nature spirits. Connectedness. Everything in nature is viewed as alive and possessing a spirit. Animism. requiring humanity to maintain reciprocal harmony with the earth. Soul loss and intrusion. Shamans traditionally view illnesses, both physical and psychological, as consequences of lost personal power, misplaced soul parts, or spiritual intrusions. Traditional practices. Altered states of consciousness. Shamans enter ecstatic trances, soul journeys, where their soul leaves the physical body to travel through spirit realms to retrieve lost souls, locate game, or battle malevolent forces. Trance inducement. These states are achieved using rhythmic drumming, chanting, dancing, fasting, or occasionally plant medicines and psychedelics. Tools of the trade. Shamans utilize specific sacred objects, with the drum being the most common instrument used to facilitate altered brainwave and serve as a steed for the spirit journey. Ceremony and ritual. Healing ceremonies are often conducted overnight to commune with spirit helpers, often animal guides, to heal individuals and the community. The shaman's role. Unlike typical clergy roles, becoming a shaman is generally not a choice but a calling from the spirits. Candidates often undergo an intense initiation process involving symbolic death and rebirth, severe illness, or vision quest before mastering the craft. Within their tribe or village, they serve as doctors, mystics, counselors, and guides to the afterlife. Now, the cultural context. While the term originated from the Tungusic peoples of Siberia, variations of shamanism span indigenous traditions in Central and South America, North America, the First Nations and Inuit, Korea, Mongolia, and Northern Europe. Many of these ancient practices are supported globally by organizations like Dance of the Deer Foundation and are actually studied by the Yale HRAF cross-cultural database. Now, we over here on African traditional religion, the artificial intelligence overview. African traditional religion encompasses diverse indigenous spiritual beliefs, mythologies, and ritual practices native to the African continent, rather than a single organized doctrine with a central founder or sacred text. It is a complex web of thousands of distinct ethnic traditions passed down orally through generations. Core beliefs and worldview. While the specific names of deities and localized customs vary by region, most traditional African-based systems share a remarkably similar cosmology. The supreme creator. Most traditions recognize a single supreme creator, God, who made the universe, because God is often viewed as remote or transcendent. Humans primarily direct their daily worship and prayers to secondary divinities, and ancestors. Veneration of ancestors. The deceased play an active role in the lives of the living. They are revered, consulted at important life milestones, births, weddings, and serve as powerful intermediaries between the human world and the divine realm. Spirits and animism. The natural world is believed to be inhabited by various spirits. Rivers, mountains, trees, and animals are respected as manifestations of this spiritual presence. Holistic spirituality. There is no strict division between the sacred and the secular. Spiritual beliefs permeate all facets of daily life, including farming, governance, and traditional healthcare. Major traditions across the continent. The rich diversity of African traditional religion is deeply tied to the cultures and languages of specific ethnic groups. Yoruba religion, West Africa, centered primarily in Nigeria. This tradition worships Olodumare, the supreme being, and a pantheon of lesser deities called Orishas, such as Obatale, Ogun, and Yemaya. This tradition strongly influenced African diaspora religions in the Americas, including Candomblé and Santeria. The Akan religion, West Africa, practiced in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. This system believes in a supreme deity named Inyami and acknowledges the spiritual power of ancestors and nature spirits. Bantu-based traditions, Central, East, and Southern Africa. These widespread traditions place heavy emphasis on community harmony. Traditional healing, often guided by diviners and healers like the Sangome, and a vital spiritual connection to the land and elders. Now, you have modern relevance and syncretism. While Christianity and Islam have a large presence in Africa today, African traditional religion has demonstrated incredible resilience. Many Africans practice syncretism, blending traditional indigenous customs with Abrahamic faith. For instance, it is common across many regions for communities to pour traditional libations to the ancestors while also identifying as devout Christians or Muslims. Whether you say African traditional religion or traditional African religion, you're saying the same thing. The same exact thing. Nothing changed, nothing different. Ancient African religion. When you say ancient African religion, you're saying the same thing. You're talking about the same thing. African traditional religion, traditional African religion, you're talking about the same thing. You're talking about the whole, when you say ancient African religion, you're talking about the whole continent. So like I said, based on the artificial intelligence overview, ancient African religion, you talking about the whole continent of the continent of Africa. But the thing about African traditional religion, traditional African religions, is that in the majority of all these ancient African religions is one God. See, this the main. See, the thing about African traditional religion and traditional African religion, ancient African religion, the majority of the faith, one God. Now, when you talk about ancient African religion, you know, they made mention about, like, in Egypt, they had this polytheistic, but, the whole continent. And then, in Egypt, they had this polytheistic, like ancient religion or something. But the majority of African traditional religion, traditional African religion, one God, one supreme being, one. And not because of Christianity, not because of no Islam, it's because of ancient African religion, traditional African traditional religion and traditional African religion. One God, one. I always have believed that's the culture and the customs of the people that are Niger Congo. Now, when you talk about ancient African religion, that like I said, the whole continent of Africa, that include the Nilo-Saharans and Afro-Asiatics. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the African traditional religion, see, that even includes like Nilo-Saharans and possibly Afro-Asiatics. When you say African traditional religion, when you say traditional African religion, you're talking about one God. Now, so like I said, when I made my video today, I want to make it clear, talking about one God, one, and all that dualism and cosmology, and they talking about that Gnostic nonsense. It was wrong. So like I said, when I started my video, you know, the Catholic Church has been refuting that Gnostic nonsense. Saint Irenaeus, the Bishop of Lyons, and Saint Ignatius of Antioch. They had already wrote a book, 5 volumes. And when I used to make my videos in the past, I used to read adversus heresies against heresies. And then another thing is that Saint Epiphanes of Salome, the Bishop of Cyprus, wrote a book titled The Panareum. That's Greek, Panareum, Latin. And what it means to bread back. I used to read that too. See, three volume book exposing all them sets, them Gnostic sets and all that pagan sets and all that stuff. See, when you read this, and then you see what people do today, all that anal sex, you ain't doing nothing that people weren't doing in the past. You doing the same thing. Some man with his penis trying to put his penis in another man's anus, and then some man trying to put his penis in a woman's anus. That's what it's all about. All this anal sex. And I don't even want to get into no animals. The material world evil. They just lie. Because the demiurge you lying. That's all you doing, lying. So like I said, man, at the beginning of my video, conservative vital, you need to make sure you don't never let that bitch Larry Hoover get away. You need to make sure you kill his ass. You need to make sure you kill him, as well as the other gangsters like in that new breed. You need to kill them. Because see, you need to make it clear, man. Hey, what you said about Elton Pepperlo Perry, it was wrong. It was wrong. See, it wasn't what he did was wrong. It was what them damn white people did was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. See, you want to kill somebody, kill the goddamn white people. Want to get mad about something, get mad at the white people. Look, I'm going to have to get ready to end today's video. And we'll come back on my next video. We're going to pick up right where we left off. Prehistoric religion. Traditional. Ancient African religion. We're going to pick up right where we left off. And see, the good thing about it, see, I got my books behind me. See, when we talk about African traditional religion, traditional African religion, as well as ancient African religion. See, I got my books behind me. I got my books behind me. And then I got a couple books right here. Some of them right here. West African traditional religion. J. Omosede Ewelelu. And who else? P. Adalumo, the Paymu. African traditional religion, a definition. E. Beloja Idowu. African Religions and Philosophy, Dr. John S. M. Beatty. Concepts of God in Africa, Dr. John S. M. Beatty. So like I said, man, hey, I got my books with me. Like I said, I got my books, my other books behind me. Same thing. Same thing. So I got my books behind me. But look, I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. But before I end today's video, hey, yesterday was Sunday. Sunday evening, WDIA, did you or did you not call WDIA radio station and request Sam Cooke and the Soul Story? Yes or no? Well, I tell you like this. I tell you what. Well, like my dad used to say a hard head make a soft behind. So I keep telling you, I tell you what, we got a YouTube video. I tell you what, Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrer. That's right. See, a hard head gonna make a soft behind. That's right. Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrer. I'm tired of telling you. Jesus gave me water. Jesus gave me water. Let his praises swell. Jesus gave me water. Jesus gave me water. Jesus gave me water. And it was not in the well. Was a woman from Samaria came to the well to get some water. Perhaps met a stranger. Did a story tell. Dropped the pitcher and was made richer from the water he gave her, and it was not in the well. Gave her water. Jesus gave her water. Jesus gave her water. Let his praises swell. Jesus gave her water. Jesus woman water. Less than water, and it was not in the well. Crying glory, hallelujah. My Savior singing, to him ringing. God in that woman water was not in the well. Gave her water, Jesus gave her water. And then his praises swell. Woman water gave her that loving lasting water. Water, and it was not in the well. Without it, met a Savior. Let's tell. Time she doubted. Think about him. Man who gave her that loving and water was not in the well. Jesus gave her water. Jesus gave her water. Jesus gave her water. And let his praises swell. Loving lasting water. Water, 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 water. It was not in the well. See, a hard head gonna make a soft behind. I'm not having them. When I tell you to do something, hard head gonna make a soft behind. See, like my dad used to always tell me when I was growing up. He said, son, when I tell you to do something, you do what when I tell you to do something, you do what I tell you to. See, you hard head. And a hard head gonna make a soft behind. So when I tell you call WDIA on Sunday evening and request Sam Cooke and the Soul Sir, you hard headed. Wonderful, God, so wonderful. He's wonderful, God. He's so wonderful. The Lord is my shepherd. He's my guide. Whatever I need, the Lord will provide. And praise, I want to say now, He's so wonderful. Oh, He's wonderful. The Lord is so wonderful. Yes, He is. Oh, wonderful. I know the Lord. He's so wonderful. Yes, He is. Whoa, I'm trying, Lord. My Lord, one day, when my Father come down and make a way. And whoa, Lord, my so wonderful. Yes, He is. Why? The Lord is wonderful. He is. Whoa, wonderful. I know the Lord. He's so wonderful. Yes, He is. Be my Father too. There's no limit to what my can do. And whoa, I know my, He's so wonderful. See, you hard headed. See, when I tell you to do something, I tell you to call WDIA on Sunday evening and request Sam Cooke and the Soul Star. See, you hard headed. See, a hard head make a soft behind. So, you want to be hard head? Okay. Tired of telling you the same thing over and over again. Had to tell you the same thing over and over again. I'm tired of telling you. Okay, now I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. Alright, I'll come back in my next video. We'll pick up where we left off. Prehistoric religion, African traditional religion, traditional African religion, ancient African religion, all that animism, shamanism. We're gonna get right back on. We're gonna get back on the branches of science, all that. Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of God, for all the blessings and the guidance He provides us all with. Continue to pray about these natural disasters. You know, I can't say that enough. Continue to just pray. Continue to pray. And continue to pray about wars that are being fought. Just continue to pray, man. Don't never stop praying. Always remember, man, there's only one God. One. Only one. Only one God. One. So, you know, we're going to stand on that. We got about a minute. I'm make it, you know, 2 hours and 30 minutes, you know. But, and then, excuse me. And so, like I said, man, you know, it's important that we continue to stand. There's only one God. One. One God. One. One God. That's important. Like I said, I love my mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? That means everything to me. You know what I'm saying? Got the library. You know what I'm saying? Like I just showed you my books and everything. You know, so then you know, I got my other books behind me. But African traditional religion, traditional African religion, you know, one God, one. One God, one. So we're going to continue to emphasize, you know what I'm saying, and stand on one God, one. One God.